I need to go open my batch plot icon so that I can use the tool. So I'm going to go to Tools, Toolboxes at the very bottom. I'm going to left click Applications Mac Custom. Okay, and you can see that this toolbox opened. I want to dock the toolbox in the file bar. Now whenever I hover over the batch plot and left click, it will open up our batch plot dialog box. So under printer, I'm going to double click, and this gives me my print specifications. You can find what all of these specific sizes of paper are used for, what projects they're used for, by going through the Windows Explorer under S, Mac, and Employee Resources, and then at the bottom, the MacWay Guidelines and Standards. This pops up, and we will scroll down to all of our paper sizes. So as you can see, a sheet 22 by 34 is used for OMD, core, and OTA projects. And it'll go through all of the sizes and exactly what they're used for. So that shows up here. You can select whatever size you want. Typically for ODOT projects, your 100 scale is going to be a 23 by 36, and your half scale is going to be an 11 by 17. So I'm going to go ahead and double click the 11 by 17. Then my print area, if you picked the 50, then it's a half size, and so you'll double click half size. If you picked the 100, then you will use the full size scale. So I'll select half, left click OK. Layout and display is always going to be Mac. Under display, if you double click, you can select color if you do want to make a color print, because there are also print specifications for color prints if you'd like to use them. However, for your standard black and white, you're just going to go with Mac. Now to add files, if you hover over this, you can add design files. I'm going to left click that, and then you will look for your project file. Oklahoma City Projects is the T drive. We can set this up for US 183, which is Mac project number 1221. Double click, drawings, and I can start selecting all of my drawing files. So I could select, all of these. I can left click one of them and then hold shift and select all of them and say done. And then once they're in here, I can move them around. So if I wanted to delete this PNP, it's not, it doesn't actually have a PNP file, it's just a reference. So I can come up here and remove from the design file. I can also move these. Let's say I want my mass haul diagrams to go after my PNPs. So I left click the first one, hold down shift and left click the last one, and then drag them to the bottom. So now my PNPs are before my mass hauls. You could also select one file and go to edit and edit file paths. And I could replace this location with a new location. So if for some reason that PNP6 moved to a different folder, if it moved under roadway, then I could go through and browse and find where it moved to and replace it. If you wanted to change any of the preferences, then you could by left clicking there. If for some reason you wanted all of the fill properties to be off, so you wouldn't fill any of your areas, you could do off and say OK. This would only be for this print. Whenever you close it and reopen it, it'll go back to the Mac standard, which is everything's printed as is based on the Mac standards. To print this, I need to select any of the sheets that I wanted to. I could select by holding down Control and picking sheets at random, or I could hit Shift and select them all and then go up here and say Print. It's going to prompt me that these files are going to be saved as a PDF, and where do I want that file output to be. So I'm going to browse, and on my local desktop I have a PDF folder which has all of the PDFs that I've created. You could put this wherever you wanted. If you were making a PDF for submittal, you could go to your project's file and put it under the submittals. And it's automatically going to start with the file name being the same as your title that you've saved it under batch plot. So if this was had already been saved as 1221, the file name would already come in as 1221.pdf, and you can change it to being whatever you want. Hit save, it remembers it, says OK, and then it will go through and print all of those files. This process may take a little bit longer, but you can see each of those sheets flash up in the background as it's taking a screenshot of them and printing them to one PDF that has all of the highlighted files in it. Once the PDF is done being created, En-ROADS will automatically take you back to your last drawing that you were in. So it goes back to the drawing that was active whenever I initiated Batchplot. So now I can save as, and we are going to go to T, and at the very bottom we have Batchplot, and this is where all of the Batchplot files are saved, and you're going to save it as your Mac job. So for this one it was 1221, so I'll say 1221 video, because this isn't our real file, so I want to save it as something else so no one else prints this. Select save, and now I can close this, and next time I want to go print, I'll go up here and left click Batchplot. It opens the dialog box. I'll select open, and there it is, 1221 video, double click, and all of my files are back here. I can continue to add more files, I can delete them. You could change their description if you wanted to make a note of what this shows, you know, station, etc. Say OK, and it'll give you a little description to help you identify what's in that sheet. Whenever I hit close, it prompts you, do you want to save the changes that you made? You can either say yes or no. Sometimes if you just add a random file for one Batchplot, then you would say no, or if you obviously want to save your changes that you made for future so that every time you open the Batchplot that file is included or that description is saved, you would say yes. And you can save over what you had previously done. It already exists, you want to replace it? Yes. To view and use the Batchplot file that you just made in PDF form, you'll go to your Windows Explorer. I'm going to left click, and then I'm going to navigate to the exact location that I told Batchplot to put my file in, which is my local desktop, and then my PDF folder, and mine are organized by date modified so I can see the last PDF that I made. I'm going to double click, and it opens the PDF that I just made. These are all of the files that I put in Batchplot in the exact order that they were listed in the Batchplot, and every file is put into one PDF. So as I scroll through these, this is one PDF compiled of all of those individual prints. From here you can print them or email them or use them however you please.